Alright, KMTV, we are everywhere, and currently we are at the residence of Hon.Nathaniel Blama. So welcome to live on KMTV.
Thank you. Thank you.
You just been discharged officially and certificated by the government of Liberia relative to COVID-19. Firstly, what's your impression?
Well, I'm happy to be alive. Thank God that this is something of the past behind us. Clearly, it was a long journey. It was a challenging moment. But after all is said and done, the most important thing that we're happy for is that we are alive. And being alive is the most important gift that God can give anyone. I mean, I survived something that over 33,000 persons has died from globally. And it's not because I'm better, it's not because of the treatment that I received, it's not because of the anything that I did extra. I think it's just mere favor of God. Even in Liberia, 7 persons has already fallen prey to this deadly virus. So the fact that I survived it is also a hope that this thing is not a death sentence, and people who seek early treatment can and will recover. And so the fact that I went in early, I felt symptoms early, and I called in to be treated, and I got treated, my recovery was a lot more faster. So I'm happy to be alive.
I'd like to take you back briefly from the genesis of this. How did you get in contact? Can you actually give up a historical picture?
I wouldn't know. It's something that you never know where you contracted. It's like someone telling you, where did you breathe 30 seconds ago? You never know where you take your 30 second ago breath or how it works, And so this is not something, I mean, that's the greatest confusion of mine. Right now, I was saying, based on the timing where I started becoming symptomatic, I was in Europe for 4 days. I left on Sunday, I arrived there on Monday. I left from there on Friday. I got here on Friday, and by Saturday I started feeling not okay. So my question is, was I exposed on my way there? Was I exposed on my way back? If it was on my way back, it's not possible that I exposed today and start getting symptoms tomorrow. A colleague of mine traveled with me. He was there for longer than me. So it's not, I don't want to project that maybe it's the meeting that we went to that I got exposed to. Even though the meeting we went to, a colleague of mine attended our meeting who happened to be the Minister of Environment, the former Minister of Environment of the Gambia, Usman, but he lives in South Korea. He also came positive. As we speak, he's still undergoing treatment. When he returned from the meeting, he was tested positive. And some other people, few other persons will test positive. But the point is, you just don't know when. You don't know how. So I wouldn't say, I didn't remember coming across anybody symptomatic. I didn't remember coming across anybody who were coughing or sneezing. We did all of the preventative. Everywhere I went, I carry hand sanitizer. I sanitized my hand. I had sanitized wet before I sit anywhere. I would clean it. I was intending to be there for 4 days, a risk that I took in the interest of my country, which I don't regret. But I came back. Whether I contracted A here, I don't know. Because the cases that allow me now, there were cases of people who have had it longer than even before I traveled. So, I don't know. So there's that. For me, one thing I can tell anybody, why it is important to do contact tracing, but the contact tracing should start from when the person who you have tested positive. Leave where you got it from, because sometimes it's difficult to even find out who to link that trace.
On the 16th, the president officially announced our first case with your name being mentioned. Did you at the time feel stigmatized and the drama that followed after?
No. This is something that I thought through. This is something, I'm a public figure.
Of course.
A public figure should be accountable to the people. public figure should be accountable to the service. It would be more criminal and evil on my part had I hated my identity. I thought all through, should I do the test? If I did the test, the result came. I might go public, I might have to go public, or I thought all of that through. And that's why people question, why are you so calm? Because I thought it through and resolved that it was the right thing to do. All right, so I didn't mind my name being called, because I'm a public figure, and you cannot be in a public space and then hide your identity from the people you serve. That's the more, I think that's even more evil and more deceiving. And my own faith does not allow me to do that. I'm a Christian, and I wouldn't do something to deceive the public. So when I called to be tested, I thought all that through. All of those ramifications, I thought it through, the stigmatization. Like I said earlier, I'd rather be stigmatized and live and don't affect other people than hide my condition and then tomorrow affect more people, and destroy myself. Like a clerical example, all of the contact tracing that came to me, that came from my case, were people very close to me. Mr. Philip, that was just discharged along with me, this is someone that has worked with me for almost 20 years, or a little more than 20 years. So when you come home and you are sick, the first group of people you interact with is your family. Yeah. It's your loved ones. So you don't want to put them at risk. Mr. Philip been with me for 20 years. It's just someone I want to get a hunt, with. My driver, who was also later on tested positive, that's someone I've known for the same almost 20 years. I knew him as a little boy. I used to direct the choir. I taught him, I used to be his choir director. In fact, he's one of Liberia's best drummer. I trained him to play the drum, the jazz drum and the electronic drum. And, so that's someone I've known for that length of time. Grew him up. Today he works with me. He worked with me directly for almost 4 years. So that's someone I want to put in hands with. So you cannot know all of that the people in your proximity, your immediate proximity, are your loved ones, and you try to shield something that you didn't buy. It's not like I want to buy a bitter ball. I intended to buy a bitter ball. I want to buy a rotting bitter ball. It's not like that. So when you do that, I think that's the most evil thing, to try to shield yourself, and not letting people know. Look, I grew up in a place where our parents told us, don't hide your sickness, because the person you're telling could be your help. And because of the alarming of my issue, I received more help, I received more love, I received more concern, I received more support, moral support, that kept me stable in the mind. So I don't particularly regret my name being called.
Initially, there were doubts, rumor, myths, and you can just continue to name it, that the government, as an official of government, was using you for this particular situation so that people can believe because they wanted money.
That's the most evil thing I've ever heard. I heard that. I'm like, I saw 2 or 3 people going live on video, someone sending video clips on Facebook. Liberian people in the diaspora and other places are too less busy. I will risk my life. In fact, where will you see Corona to go take it? Is it an injection that we gave you? The thing is abstract. You never know where it is. It's like a blank bullet. The bullet hits you before you know you got hit by a bullet. Who sees a bullet coming? That's so absurd. When I heard people talk, he wanted money, so he and the president agreed, he might go take it. And those are, for me, that's one of my greatest fears right now. Because the misinformation that is following it is making people doubting. All right? And because people are doubting, people will feel symptomatic and say, come on, cool, and try to treat it. And then they start to affect other people. And then we could have potentials where people looking for money. And that's why they did it. I've been sick before. And I know how this one felt. When I reached out to Dr. Jerry Brown, he was way in Brazzaville. When I texted him, I said, hey, are you in town? Can we talk? He said, oh, we're in Brazzaville. You know, I came here for a conference, and I'm coming out till next week. I said, look, but I need to talk to you. He said, when I step out of my meeting, I will call you. Step out of the meeting, he called me. And I said, look, I just came from Switzerland, but I'm feeling this, you know, unusual cold. I'm treating it, it's cold in Europe, so I think it as something, but I'm treating it, I'm not too satisfied. You understand? It's going away, but I'm not too satisfied. Do you have testing capabilities in that? He said, yes. So he put me in touch with Dr. Kete and Dr. Fala. And that was Sunday morning on the 15th. I was home all day. Normally I go to church once I'm in country. But because I had spoken to him, I decided to stay home and wait for the test. I stayed home all day. I didn't go to church. I waited for him. I waited for the team. The health team, they didn't come until almost 5 o'clock. I kept texting and calling them. When are you sending the guys? The guys came right in my yard here and did the test.
So the tests were done here in Liberia?
Right in my house. Okay. And Monday morning, Dr. Keta called me and said, hey, buddy, your test came back positive. First thing I asked him, what should we do? And then he laid out the steps to go for treatment. So I said, I'm okay. I'm taking back, get ready, pack my things, and we'll proceed like that. So the myth that this thing is not real could put more lives in danger, could damage more people who, you know, and evident by the fact that most of the people that have died, that people who never saw treatment, at the point of their death, they were tested positive. You understand it? How many persons had they sprayed it to before they died were tested positive? You know, I would have done that. Come here quietly and say, I'm treating myself okay, go to work, contaminate the workplace, family members coming to visit you, there was a holiday, friends coming to visit you, contaminate them. But I didn't do that. I thought as a responsible citizen, you know, the doubt. I had several activities lined up, but I kept pushing them out because I wanted the result to come first. And once the result came, I committed myself to the process.
Bring us up to speed with activities relative to the treatment in the center. How was it like for you?
Well, you've never been in a zoo bush, you can't talk zoo flower.
Just a bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell you, you know, because my fear, and I've had friends calling me, what did you treat you with? What did they give you? My fear is, if I know Liberia is a very poor society and very gullible. If I tell anybody they gave me A, B, and C, they will go and buy it. And they start feeling symptoms, they will not want to report themselves to the authorities and they will start taking it. My antibiotic or my body chemistry and responses or reaction to anything might be stronger than people. Okay. Sure. All right? So my body type is not the same as yours. So if I took, say, paracetamol and go, well, you take paracetamol and I get well. So I think it would be misleading to the public if I ever say what I took. You go there, the doctors are trained, they are professionals. They will give you exactly what they think is necessary based on your blood test, based on your body test, based on your body response, based on your situation or the magnitude of your case. They will treat you like that. But so I think it will be very deceiving to the public. One thing I can tell you, I went in sick and I came back well. I think that's the most important thing. That's the confident part that anybody can be assured that if they go in sick, they can come out well, rather than what did they give me.
There were several symptoms. So could you tell us which one of the symptoms you came down with?
Well, one of the symptoms that really led me, there was this unusual cold that sat in my chest, you know, and I felt that very unusual cold, and then I started coughing, you know. Normally I'm not that kind of, I don't have asthma, and I don't suffer from any asthma, respiratory illness, even though high blood pressure. I'm not a regular high blood pressure patient, so I don't have any kind of pre-existing condition that will cause me to cough like that. So those were the erratic cough and the cold. I was not sneezing, but then I felt also the body pain, body ache, and this strange feeling. Have you had 4+ malaria?
No.
How you feel when you get 4+ malaria? I felt like that. So I knew it was unusual. I'm one person who I'm very, susceptible to mosquito bite and malaria. So I know my malaria don't get that far. So when this was happening, I knew it was not regular malaria. It was something else.
Finally, at the peak of that particular situation, there was a press statement that suspending you and then this with immediate effect. Looking at going through such case, how the team at the time?
Well, those were all, things happen so fast. Things happen very fast. And in the midst, right, look, let me tell you, my case was an index case. This was the first time it happened in Liberia. There has been a lot of international media, publications, journals, and everybody know how deadly this thing is. In the midst of it, it lands in Liberia, bam! The whole Liberia got confused. Everybody panicked. In that instance, for me, anything could happen. You understand it? And that's why I say, at least I thank the president for creating stability. Because even if suspending me, we have created the stability, I accept the suspension because, obviously I was out of play, but formalizing it, I think it created some level of calm and stability. You understand it? Because
so you had no problem with that?
No, I don't. I don't. I don't. Because, look, this is something new to the whole country. You know what I'm saying? And I'm an index case. I'm a public figure. What did you expect? There are a lot of interpretation, what this means, what it's going to cost, what it's going to... So everybody will come in with their own idea, and their own thoughts, and their own interpretation, and their own, so, worst case scenario, I could have died. All right? What would be the worst thing than die? What would be the worst thing than dying? Nothing else. But I survived, which is the most important thing. I think going forward, the survivor story is what we need to tell more so that it encourages people to come forward to be treated. Every other thing that happened between, those are all human factors. They can always happen. We can always overcome them because they're not insurmountable. But when death overpowers you, my man, you got no story to tell.
How do you feel about it now?
I'm okay, perfectly well. Interestingly, the last 14 days, I sat down for the 2 days. The third day, I noticed I have exponentially put on weight.
Wow.
I hit the gym. So I've been doing some good workout. I feel very good in the body. I did 1 hour every morning, 1 hour every evening in the gym. And I feel it's something that I feel very good.
So are you ready to work once your suspension?
I'm ready to hit the ground running. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's Hon.Nathaniel Blama, the visibility-based certificate.
Formally certificated. I'm clean. And I pray that others that are going through it, once you go to the treatment center, I hope that all Liberians that go to that treatment center come out clean. And finally, just before you take leave, I'd like to thank all of our family and friends who stood with us. Like I said, I didn't experience so much love. If I ever broke down, if I ever felt salt, if I ever felt humble, it was all of the love and care and support that I received. It broke me. I didn't know there were many persons out there who we have touched through our low, weak ways, passing through, the love, the support, the cry, the call. It broke me, actually. That's the only time. I was not broken by the noise. I was not broken by the sickness. I didn't feel sorry for that, but I was humiliated. I was humbled, by the love and support. And I just like to give my hands up. There was a guy that called me, one of the pastors, I don't know from anywhere. He said, I just got your number from someone. From the time I heard your effects that I went in my closet, I will stay there until you come up. Someone never knew. So I will stay interceding in front of God until you come up. And all of the pastors, the Bishop Harris, the Reverend Dr. Olumanji, Reverend Gadiel Johnson, my own pastor, Reverend Kofa, Reverend Sherman, who always carry food for me, and all of the pastors from all over the country, Pastor Dave. I mean, it was just overwhelming. They would call, pray with me. They would call, encourage me, and people from America, from Europe, all over the world reach out to me. The love and support was too overwhelming for me, and I never felt bold one day. Someone called me and said, "You always on your feet." I get up 6 o'clock. I'm in office 7 o'clock. I stay in office from 7 o'clock sometimes to 7, 8, 9 p.m. before I come home. And you're sitting in one room. How do you feel? I said, I'm not bored. Because of the love. People keep my 2 phones. Sometimes I have to switch one off. If I want to take a nap in a day, I have to switch the both phones off, or else I will not sleep. So I never got bored one day. They reach out. People reach out first in government, outside of government. People kept reaching out. So I just want to use this time to say hands off to all of you who reach out, even those that didn't reach out, but you pray for me in your closets. I say hands off. Like I said in the first day, this too shall pass, and it has come to pass. But I also pray that this too will pass over Liberia, and we will come back and reunite as a family, get back to our normal lives of intermingling and interacting with people.
Thank you so much, sir. You've made history. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's all the time we have to be here with Hon.Nathaniel Blama, Godfrey Nanam Badu Kwanzaa, and I'm Julius Content. Please keep watching KMTV, and please be safe and listen to him. He's made history. We all can make it together. Thank you so much.